To the that's my writing. John Phillips is here. We spoke it before. And anyways, let's get this going. And thank you to Joan and her husband.
Yo, can you hear me? Yo, hi. My name is Marge Hunting. I am from Halsey Territory, British Nation. I've been on the lands of Vancouver, downtown east side, for 40 years on the streets, in a way that, in a rough way, however you want to put it. I then became, turning myself around. I'd like to thank you for having us on your lands. The um, the Pongatin and territory of the Sangay and Esquamit and the Senate land. I found that just coming over in the waters from where we were, it was very, to me, honestly, felt very refreshing. Good trip. Get me out of downtown east side and come see another situation which we are here for. And I want to thank everybody for the hosting here. Very nice place. And that's all I got for now. All my relations. I have my friend here, Tiffany, that would like to speak and say some words. My new friend, Tiffany, by the way. Hey, Tiffany, there you go. Thank you, all my relations.
Gonna
Like,
hold the microphone closer.
Spiritual Hailas, Philosopher for the Snap, Jackson to Percent, Teen Actions, Fast, Port, Oatmeal, Sneaks and Cotton, Sneaks and Samna, Mr. Jawat, yet Michaelos, yet Guys Make Up, and Magana, Couple Mat and Attain, Kiam to the Main, Sweet Fella Tupla, yet Kiwana Matla, yet Spinna North, yet Squatsimacook, Tennessee, Sealola. My name's Tiffany Joseph, I'm Percent, Portlish, and Cotton. We're here in the homelands of my ancestors, the Satanish people, as well as the Lekwungen people. We've always had to work together to take care of these homelands. The people who now reside in Songhees, but also many Satanish ancestors were living here, and they were living behind where the Empress is right now. And they cleared them all out and sent them off to the different reserves and they did the same thing in Vancouver in Kitsilano. But in Kitsilano, they put Squamish people, Musqueam people, and Tsleil-Waututh people on barges and sent them off to the different reserves because the colonizers told the Indians, the indigenous people, you're going to bring the property values down by being here. So we need to get you out of here. You're undesirable. But think about the word value, As Indigenous people, as caretakers of this ecosystem, it's beyond gardening what we did. It's beyond farming what we did. We took care of the whole ecosystem as Coast Salish people. And I say Coast Salish because Vancouver is Coast Salish. Victoria is Coast Salish. All the Coast Salish people were connected through language families, cultural families. When we are living our own way of life, we are actually not divided at all. And that's why I acknowledge I'm Satanish, Potnish, and Cultson. I'm saltwater, I'm freshwater. And I'm from all of these nations who are all related. We have unique languages within each of our nations, but we're all related and we all have a responsibility to the land, to the waters, and to one another. And when we were the caretakers of the land, when we had control of the land, all of us, made the most biodiverse ecosystem that exists in so-called BC. We still to this day have the most plant species diversity. So we have the most biodiversity in terms of plants, terrestrial plants. And of course, we are caretakers of the Salish Sea. We would have spent as much time on the water as we did on the land. We would have had to. Um, and when we were caretakers of the land, the ones who controlled the land, because we still do, but people take away our power and control. Um, when we were the primary caretakers, when you were up in the Squamish River, you could walk across the backs of salmon. There was so much salmon in the river. And when people would paddle through the Salish Sea, the salmon were so abundant it looked like you could walk on the backs of salmon in the Salish Sea as well. And even though we might not have activities in the water that are harmful to the water, everything we do on the land goes into the water. So when you're a guest in Coast Salish lands, be mindful of what you're doing on the land. Don't dump bleach down a drain because that's going to go straight into the water or in the creeks if you live near a creek. It wasn't very long ago, just a few years ago, somebody in Sydney did that. They dumped bleach down the drain and they killed a bunch of fish, including trout. And your activities on the land affect forage fish like herring. I've only seen herring once in Satanist territory in my whole life, and I'm 38 years old. So we really need to take care of the foreshore. So everything you do on the land is going to affect that, and everything you support. You might feel so powerless that you're like, well, I'll do everything right, but I still have to drive a car, and there's cement everywhere. I can't do much, but I'm working with my people on a project called Repatriate Stewardship, and we are aiming to house local Indigenous women because Coast Salish lands are also the most expensive place to live. It's also important to know that 75 to 80% of so-called British Columbians live in Coast Salish lands, and most of our land is private property. So everybody has a very serious responsibility to be a good ally, not just to the people, but to the land. And so Repatriate Stewardship is bringing women back to the land so that we can take care of the land, to heal with the land, and also share what we know within our community and to welcome and safe guests as well. We launched a fundraiser on Sunday to be able to put down a down payment on a property so that we can start that work. And if you would like to know more, you can check out rematriate.ca. This is holistic in nature. It's not just about the land. It's not just about the people. It's not just about our trauma or just about our healing. It's about all of it. Red Dress Day was a day to recognize murdered and missing Indigenous relatives. And there is yet to be any significant government action to make sure people don't go missing, especially Indigenous people don't go missing and murdered. And so that's our action that we're going to take. So every contribution will be supporting a Indigenous women-led initiative to address the harms of colonial violence. So thank you all for listening.
Thank you so much for the welcome. My name is Fiona York. I'm with Crab Park, and residents from Crab Park are here today. We're visiting from so-called Vancouver, which is Coast Salish territories, and we give thanks every day to be on those lands and honor the ability to be there. The reason that we're here today from so-called Vancouver and from Crab Park to talk to you is that so many times these politicians make decisions that affect people who are residents of Crab Park or unhoused people in all of the cities and places in this province, and they're not listening to people, they're not consulting, they're not taking any feedback, they're not considering the impacts of their decision making. So they're not responding to our request, so we decided to come to them, and so that we can talk to people face to face and let them know the impacts of the decisions that they're making. Bill 45, housing, so many things here have effects on people who are unhoused, who are looking for housing, who are in housing that's not adequate, not supportive. So we're coming to them to talk to them and bring those messages. Just yesterday in Crop Park, park rangers and their enforcement from the police came and took 3 truckloads of survival gear, tents and tarps and blankets and things to keep people safe and warm. They managed to take 3 truckloads from a tiny little encampment of 14 people. And
Shame.
and here in Victoria, just this morning on Pandora, they did the same thing. They were taking away people's survival belongings and just make people more precarious and in more risky positions. And it's awful and it's cruel what they did yesterday and what they did today and what they do every day to people who are unhoused. So our first message that we're bringing is stop the sweeps. Stop the sweeps.
Stop the sweeps.
Stop the sweeps.
And this morning I was talking to one of our Crab Park residents, and he said they have everything in the world, and yet they take everything from us. And that's why it's so cruel. They take all these things, and they're not considering what it means to people. But what we have is we have each other. So we're here today in solidarity to bring our messages and to be in solidarity with unhoused people in the province and across the country. And we're going to hear from some of the residents and some people who've been impacted by these decisions. The first person I'm going to call up is Drew.
Yeah, I'm here.
Who's here?
Jason, I want to my Jason up. Hi everyone. I get sad when I hear that stories over and over again. They never die, and they should die. These stories should die. I can't believe the same thing goes on to people year in, year out. I've been housed now for 2 years. Thank you to Fiona. She's the reason I'm housed. I can't help but remark upon how many politicians are standing here beside me right now. 0, if you didn't catch that. 0 politicians except for my constituency, MLA, is here today, and her husband, the chief of the nations in BC, right? That's it. Excuse me. This is an opportunity. I thought this is what you're supposed to do as a citizen. Come to the government and talk to them. They're not talking to me. Sorry, this is Jason. He's one of the local camp here. I'd like to let him have a few words. I can't believe they're not out here right now. This is an opportunity to engage with the people. And I thought that's what you're supposed to do as a citizen and as a politician. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
My name is Jason. I was staying in Victoria in the park. I was here 15 minutes, and the cops advised me I had to go to England Park and go to sleep there at camp. Now, since I've been there, I see a lot of repression. I've had a lot of my things going in the garbage with Christmas yard, tents, all kinds of things. I've eaten food, my medications. They said that's what some medication I was quite tasty with. Just 2 weeks ago, they came and they said we had 20 minutes, which is 20 minutes to get all my stuff together. Get it all together, get all the bags. My tent was still standing. Which time they came, and once they put the yellow tape up, you're not allowed back in that area. Now, I grabbed my backpack, which is actually supposed to be every morning, so it's ready to go if things show up, and I haven't taken my tent down at 7 a.m. yet, which I usually do, but not always. Again, so they came and they started putting their tape up. I threw my backpack out of the tape line, and next thing, the 3 cops were with them put their taser on me. Fortunately, I turned my back. I said, "No, you don't need to tase me," but they still threw me down on the ground. They put me in handcuffs. And they twisted my ankle up pretty good, which is still sore a couple weeks later. And they threw a lot of my belongings, things, food and things that I need. So in a way, I kind of paying rent staying that park because it's costing me at least, every time they do this, it's come on cash. They fill up my blankets, half of my tent. They give me the fly back. They do that on purpose. I bought an expensive bike a while back, and I had one for parts. I bought it off the guy who does repairs on bikes and that. And they took me to hire him. And they threw out my good bike, give me the crappy bike. And this has been going on all the time. And people wake up in the mornings, and everyone's on the lookout. Where's Bylaw? Where's Bylaw today? Are they going to come steal all my stuff today? It's really affected with mental health. And I like to go to the dentist, and I can't go to the dentist before 12 o'clock because they don't come after 12. So, it's very inconvenient what they're doing. And they have absolutely no regard for people. They're homeless. Basically, what they're telling us, if you're homeless in Victoria, get out of Victoria. And that's the way it is. And they have no regard for anything you own. And it's simply disgusting. That's not to say, I hope people get to hear that and understand It was, and we're not all bad people. There might be a few bad in the bunch, if you want to look at it that way. But people have addictions, people have problems, and the better ones up to steal on I'm a Christian. Other people, if you want to help people, you're not also trying to do it. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Michael Dalday. Homelessness takes away your ego, your self-esteem. In fact, you're not a citizen anymore. You can't get a bank account, you can't get a doctor, you can't get medical help, you can't do anything. The fact is that the Residential Tenancy Act of Canada, it supersedes the criminal code of Canada simply by allowing landlords to break in, enter your house, and the tenant should say, write them a letter. If it was me that did it, I'd be charged with an indictable offense that is punishable sometimes by life imprisonment. I don't have to say it here.
It's all right. It's okay.
Hi, I'm Ryan Exley. I used to be a resident at downtown East Side encampments. But I was a resident there for 2 years, and at one point we had 140 residents in that camp. And then the city did a cleanup. And all they really did is just came in and tore people's homes apart, threw all their property in the garbage. Because property crime is property crime. And then the city did a parking lot and put up 14 tents. That's what they expect as an encampment. That's not an encampment, that's called oppression. Simple as that. And it should change, really, because, I mean, it's viewed as a homelessness problem, but it's not a homelessness problem. This is a government problem.
That's right.
Right?
Genocide.
So we just need them to do their part, because like, if there's no homes available, there's no homes available. We got to go somewhere. Because, I mean, most of the population, 50% of the population are one paycheck away from being a crap park themselves. Right? So how do you think the government's going to treat you? They're going to treat you like that too, right? So we need this to change. It shouldn't even be a question. But that's all I got to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan, and thank you all. I mean, I'm gonna I guess wrap up here. I am someone now who's housed, as I said before, and I'm unhappily housed. All the way from things I don't like to speak of, like bugs in the place, to no heat in a 10-year-old building, which is choicefully turned off when the staff leave at night. In a supportive housing where there's one meal a day, where if that's adequate, if you make it, if they like you may get dessert. Etc. I'm not even joking about these things. And then always in politics, what I said before. This is what you're supposed to do. Come here and talk to the government. This is the opportunity they have to speak with us. I walked over there. They didn't know I was part of this. And I said, what's going on? A special event. Yeah, a rally and that. Okay, so they have extra officers on right now, extra that, but they can't step outside the building in their paid duty that we pay for and come and talk to us politely. We are not threatening at all. I got lost in the system when the trucker thing in Ottawa. Why did they not engage? And that's a lot of things. But here, we spend our own money. None of anything you heard of came to Crowd Park from the government. We didn't see anything of it. I stand for the camp when Fiona was banned for 6 months. Hiding out in a tent sometimes. Excuse me, truth told. But and because of a ban, because they on what do you call it? The claim was on. There's nothing to it. The police didn't even write a report about her striking. She went to save a box of our stuff that was going on their truck. And this guy that's bigger than her and all this and has uniform with protective gear on says that she struck him. And there goes to the word of strike, like strike out. Like, did you miss them? Et cetera, et cetera. And I listened to the lawyer and the judge speak for half an hour online. And they're changing laws in front of our face. I went to the meeting with the Parks Board. I said congratulations to the party of Van Dusen Bodel, whatever it is thing they're trying to get together before the vote was taken. They didn't come back for the vote because they knew what the decision was. We watched a PowerPoint for no reason. And then when it was our turn, I said what I had to say, but to a few people that don't even know anything about, arborism, or, an arborist or anything about the park stuff. They asked the general manager of parks, who is an accountant, if they check in with legal about these new bylaws they're making that are affecting people. Homelessness is seemingly becoming illegal due to things like the loitering act in Vancouver, where you can't even be on the sidewalk in front of a place, where can you be? And excuse me, but there is some housing available, and it's for emergency situations, which this is. And if we can't put one epidemic together with another, they don't cancel each other out. It's exponential, the problems. We have people like MPs speaking on CBC about their family being lost, and we've changed the law back to criminalizing things. I'm sorry for I don't see through the idiocracy. I just see the masters of mankind kind of pulling strings. And when I meet these people in their job place and they don't even know if they check with legal when they're writing a legal law that affects lives after them and for years and generations to come, I don't see how we even pay these people to with and not even accountability. They go on. I just don't understand. And maybe my politics, but I start thinking and seeing that actually what I thought was the myths and grandiose ideas of what a politician is truth. They're kicking around like the guy that you count general manager looks like the guy Tom Hanks in Big when we go to meet him. He's not writing down notes at all. He's kicking around in a chair with a shoelace pen around his neck. I'm not even joking you. I don't get it. And we're just asking for electricity for a year. I believe it's futile. It's nothing. That is terrorism. It is tyranny. It is top-down tyranny where no one holds responsibilities. And I ask for things and they say it's the next week. The next staff will get it to you if they even got this note. And at the same time, they're coming in my room every day. I'm paranoid because someone's in my room right now making judgments about me and writing a file of all negative things to share with the next worker that comes into the building and has nothing good to say about me. And it says they know me in my room and things like that. No joke. I don't have a mental health issue diagnosed, but I want to ask at my building, are you treating me like that? And I have nothing against mental health people, but they shouldn't. It's like how we treated, like, excuse me for the term, but we say like retarded kids in the 90s, and it was okay to diss them and make a show on Living Color about a guy like this or something. And if it is, then we go hug them like we did Oscar the Grouch, or something like that. I don't know. I just don't understand. I hope we can have more understanding and more responsibility by these people here. Like, if one of them showed his face right now, I'd love to be proven wrong. Like I don't know if this is live, someone's listening to us. But we're here, and I think that the pay should be docked or something. If you work in housing, why isn't there a ticker on BC Housing? Where's this list? Where's like the numbers? Where's the 4,000 counted for housing people? Like, and Crab Park is rotating musical chairs, one tent gone. You know how many more people I've seen on my block sleeping or dying? 3 times as many.